This is the best free productivity apps for iPhone and Android. There are literally hundreds, if not thousands, of amazing productivity apps that help you with note-taking, projects, co-work, and even time management. I've got a few on the list here that are of particular note because they are mostly free. A lot of them do have paid options as well that you can upgrade to, but the free options of these apps do give a lot of great features. Todoist works in browsers. It works for Mac and Windows, and of course Android and iOS as well. You can pretty much use it across all operating systems, which is obviously needed. There is a free tier, but there's a premium tier as well that starts at around about $4 a month. If you're a student, you can get a huge discount to around $1 or $2 a month for this. But with Todoist, you create projects and you can color code all of these depending on whether they're important or less important. Then you add tasks and you can add dates. Other people can add comments in those tasks, and you can give priority ratings to all of your tasks. In terms of reminders, you can set up email reminders, in-app notifications on your phone. You can also set up SMS messaging if that's your thing as well. That is part of the paid option though, because obviously it costs them to send you those messages. Todoist does have a really good today and next 7 days view, so you can see all of the tasks that you need to complete and the times. I would like it if you were more easily able to separate all of your tasks though. Things may get confusing, but overall it's a very solid app with a bunch of good free features. Notion is more of a project management app that's a little bit more than just a to-do list. It's really meant for collaboration, so maybe if you're a group of students that need to actually complete a project or a small work group, Notion may be really good for you. If you are a business, you'll need to get a paid subscription, but if you are an individual, you can use most of the features for free. So you can basically make each project become a list of things that you need to do, and then you can turn them into tasks that can be ticked off or scratched out. You and other people in the group who have access to the project can add comments and collaborations. They can upload images or links and pretty much any media, to be honest. I think it's really good like that in Notion. You can even add audio files, so instead of writing a load of stuff, you can actually just record an audio file and send it, which is obviously a little bit cleaner and easier for everyone. And Notion also lets you upload things called embeds, which is basically using a different app, the content from the app, and then just embedding it into the project in Notion. That obviously takes up less space, and it's a really easy way to essentially upload things from like Google Drive or even Twitter, Google Maps, and a bunch of other apps. The layout can get quite cluttered, especially if you have a lot of people collaborating and making changes all the time. But I guess, hey, that's just going to happen if you have a lot of people working pretty much in one sheet. ClickUp is a really refreshing app, and it's basically free for pretty much everything, which is always good. I think compared to the first two I've mentioned, the design is definitely more modern. It just looks kind of from this century onwards, whereas the other two, functional definitely. But this one is a bit more youthful, and everything just kind of looks nicer and just a bit more modern like that. When you do sign up for ClickUp, you can immediately invite people to your workspace. So you can put in their email address. If they don't have ClickUp, then they'll be invited to download it, and then they can have access to that group workspace. The way ClickUp is set out as well, it's definitely more towards individual users rather than being like an enterprise solution. So this would be great if you just have a group of people that need to plan something, maybe like a birthday party, a holiday away, or you just have a small group that need to do something. This might be for you. ClickUp has a great list of features like scheduling events. It also has an inbox, so you can see all of your imminent tasks that need to be completed quite soon. It definitely isn't as easy to collectively work on a project compared to Notion though. So Notion is a bit more geared towards maybe work groups or students. This one, I guess, more just a group of people that need to all be kept up to date on a certain event or some task to be completed. Evernote is a classic app that seems to have been around forever. Is it still relevant now compared to all of the other apps that we're getting for project management and to-do lists? Well, to be honest, Evernote just has so much competition out there from a bunch of names like, Microsoft with OneNote, Google Keep, even Notes on iOS. The main benefit for me of Evernote is that you can use it across all devices and all operating systems. So if you're on iOS or a Microsoft computer or Android, Evernote is going to work across all of those. Whereas something like the Notes app from Apple, You can get it on other operating systems, but it's quite hard. You're going to have to use a browser, and it's just not as easy as using something like Evernote. The problem Evernote has is that also works for OneNote and all of Google's apps as well, which are really, really great. And they also come mixed in with a bunch of other very good apps. Pretty much the Microsoft Office suite and the same from Google are really amazing, and they integrate well with their Notes app and can be used on iOS and everything else as well. And now for something completely different, Habitica, which I think is a really great way of just introducing some fun into some tasks or projects that you need to complete. So Habitica makes completing your tasks into basically a kind of fun, silly RPG game. And actually this may help you with keeping up with those chores that you might otherwise not want to do. So in Habitica, you essentially set up all the tasks that you need to do, and then you play your tasks as a game. So you can set up your character. You can also set rewards and challenges that you need to complete. So if you have chores to do, or maybe you need to do some exercise every day, then you can set up those as tasks. And when you actually do them, you go into the game, complete them, and then you level up in the game. You can also set how difficult these are from level 1 to 3, so the harder chores or tasks you can achieve more. It's just a bit of fun and something different, and just kind of not as boring and work-like as the other apps. You may just want to download it and have a bit of fun. Toggl is very different again, so whereas an app like Notion is about project management, Toggl has a focus on time tracking. You can use this as an individual or a team, and especially if you are working for people where you're actually charging them by your time worked, you might want to use Toggl. Toggl works on iOS, Android, and across the web as well. And essentially when you're in Toggl working on a project, it times you. So if you are charging by time, you can just show the client exactly how much time you've spent on their project. If you do want to bill your clients by this time, you'll have to actually get an enterprise subscription, which starts about $10. But if you're just an individual, the free options are going to work just fine for you. Trello is also a really good option for individuals, and there are a lot of free tools in this one. Yes, there is a paid version as well, but the free tools are pretty much most of what you would need if you are just an individual. Trello works on a system of cards. So essentially you create and manage them. You can set due dates, labels, add members specifically to each card to keep track of who actually needs to be part of each project that you're working on. Cards are then kept in lists, which you can manage, add, delete, and edit as you like. In each card, you can also have text or checklists, and you can add what Trello calls attachments, which is essentially media like videos and photos. I think Trello is a really great app, and it's very good for co-working and just completing projects and organizing them. It's almost like a sticky board for your iPhone. All the projects can be split up, and then you can invite people to co-work on all of those projects. This is just some of the many options though. I can also recommend just a lot of free options like OneDrive, Google Drive, all the Microsoft apps to be honest, which are all free these days, and you can use them across all platforms. These really are the first stop, but if you want something extra, you might want to go for one of the apps on this list. Let me know your favorite project management or note-taking apps in the description below. Which ones have you used on this list that are really great or you don't like, or which didn't I mention that you'd recommend to everyone else? Let me know in the comments though. That's it for this one. Thumbs up if you liked it, and I'll see you in the next one.